Welcome back to another episode of Who's On First. I'm your host, Dwayne.
And I'm Jason.
And before we start, please like, comment, subscribe. It'll help the channel out immensely. We're doing great numbers thanks to you guys, so thank you very much for that. Let's get straight to it. Javy Baez, man. I mean, just somebody. See, when I was growing up, my grandpa would always tell me, he was like, if you ever make it in baseball, there's two places you should never play: Boston and New York. And I was like, why Boston? He was like, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
When you get old enough, you'll figure it out. But New York, he was like, in New York, the fans are very vocal. And if you ain't built for that, it's going to be tough to deal with. And it seems like Javy Baez has been in just a lot this year. Like already he was getting into stuff with Amir Garrett when he was on the Cubs. Yeah. And Javy Baez is a very flashy player, very emotional, and him being traded to the Mets, to a fan base that's very vocal, seemed like a match made in heaven to me, honestly. But so far, because of Javy Baez's awful start and his injury, he's not performing. The Mets fans have shown their displeasure towards Javy Baez, but also to the Mets in general, who've lost, like, on this last West Coast run, the Mets have done terrible. I believe they only won one game out of like 10 against the Giants and the Dodgers. They've fallen from like second in that division to, I want to say I don't know if they're still in second or creeping around third place now. They just haven't been playing well, and their playoff hopes look all but dead. So, of course, Mets fans are going to be very vocal about this, but Javy Baez and the rest of the Mets players took it upon themselves to make a gesture to salute Mets fans after their victory on Sunday against the Mets. So essentially every time they did something well on the field, they would kind of do this whole thumbs down gesture. And at the end of the game, during the celebrations, they were doing this thumbs down gesture. So afterwards, Javy Baez was asked, hey, what the thumbs down gesture, what does that mean?
What does the thumbs down celebration after a big hit mean?
Just the booze that we get. You know, we're not machines. We're gonna struggle. You know, we're gonna struggle 7 times out of 10. And you know, it just feels bad when we strike out. When I strike out and I get booed, you know, it doesn't really get to me. But like I want to let them know that when we success, we're gonna do the same thing to know how to let them know how it feels. You know, because if we win together, then we gotta lose together.
Just give me your thoughts on that type of dislogic as an athlete. All right.
So first off, what he says is it didn't get to me. Bullshit, it got to you. You wouldn't be, doing this. Right. You wouldn't be doing this. So I do agree with what he said. They are human. They aren't machines. But you're in New York. You are getting paid millions of dollars to play a child's game. I understand that it is your job, and I understand that it's baseball. It's a game, but you're getting paid a lot, and these fans expect a lot. However, I don't blame the fans for this. I blame the ownership for this, because the owner, he called them out. What was like a couple weeks ago? If that,
yeah, Steve Cohen.
Yeah, so Steve Cohen called out the team a few weeks ago, and now you have the team showing up and doing their thing. So besides the fans and Steve Cohen doing this, they just pretty much screwed themselves from getting some free agents.
Right.
Because I know if I was on a free agent coming up, like, yo, do you want to play for the Mets? No, because your owner doesn't have your back, and your fans are going to treat you like shit when you're down. Right. And that's how all fans are. But you're in New York, where it's amplified by like 1 million. So I feel like Javy Baez is in the right for doing the thumbs down thing, but I feel like he needs to shut up and just play ball instead of saying, oh, it doesn't bother me, because obviously, if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't be doing the thumbs down thing. It wouldn't have been a big thing that you talked about after the game. So, yeah.
See, I feel the same way, but my big thing about this is it just comes off with Javy Baez. It comes off as super soft, bro. Like, and the reason I say that is because, like I said, Javy Baez is a very emotional player. He's gone at Amir Garrett during their back and forth with the whole Cubs and Reds games this year and previous seasons. He's a very flashy player. He shows emotion when he does certain things. So again, we we have to put it into context. He's coming from the Cubs. Cubs fan base is totally different than the Mets fan base. The Cubs, their fans will love you honestly through whatever. And honestly, Javy Baez is like, he's kind of royalty because they won a championship. Yeah. So regardless of what
after Javy Baez, huge drought too, you have to
exactly.
say that because I think anybody that was on that World Series team could go through Chicago, the south side. I think the north side's the White Sox or whatever side they are.
It's switched. I think the White Sox are the south
side. Whatever side of Chicago. But right. They can go through anywhere probably and get a beer bought for them, if not by the owner of the bar. So
of course. So that's the biggest thing with me in this situation is he's coming from a fan base that is they're a lot calmer, I would say, than Mets fans. And you go into a situation where not only are you considered a superstar player, you're going to be a free agent next year, and you're the big acquisition they made during the trade deadline. So you're supposed to get them over the hump. He's not performed. And this isn't his fault because this does fall back on Steve Cohen. Like you said, Steve Cohen was the one who started to interact with Mets fans on Twitter and everything. And once you open that door, it's very hard to close it. It's very hard to you can't switch hats. You can't go from fan to owner to business to, oh, this is my actual opinion. Can't do that. All right. People who have done it have also ran into situations of these moments. Mark Cuban, for example, he ran into situations of being a little too honest and players feeling like I don't want to play for you when you do stuff like this, or you have to vocally talk about me to the people and to the fans and stuff. It's not cool. In this situation with Javy Baez, he has to look at it like this. You got to stop being so sensitive. Honestly, these fans, they pay their money to be there.
And I bet they're hard on money in New York.
And those tickets are very expensive. I don't give a damn what I say. I have the right to say it because I'm sitting here watching this, especially if you guys are underperforming. I can do what I want. And I feel like that with any fan base. If you sit there and you buy a ticket, you can say whatever you want, as long as it's not anything that's obviously blatantly vulgar or offensive or whatever. Have at it, all right? Yeah. But like the whole idea that what happened?
I'm just looking at the prices of the tickets in Mets games right now.
Like that's what, a second, third place team?
They're in third place. They're down by 7.5 in the division.
And what are the prices?
For September 11th game, well, I'm going to say September 11th in New York versus the Mets, or the Yankees versus the Mets. It's right. $90. But that's because I think it's September 11th. It's the 20-year anniversary
right.
and all that. But then if you go the next day versus the Mets and Yankees, it's $30. And then there's daily tickets at $6 a ticket.
Right, which are probably nosebleeds and things like that. So it's just it's crazy to think about that someone can be this emotional about something that happens all the time. It's like you get booed on the road. They're not going to cheer you.
Yeah. Well, see, I just looking at it this way is like all he has to do is be like, like think of it this way. It's $6 a ticket. You do the math. He's like, I make more than like what you guys paid to get in. That's all my money coming to me. That's my salary this game. So boo me all you want. I got your money. That's all how I would handle it.
Right. And like on the flip side to it, the Mets fans have a right to boo him because I'll read you his slash line right now. His slash line has been terrible since he's been traded over.
Yep.
He's batting .207 with a .258 on base percentage, and then I think a .414 slugging percentage.
So he's failing almost 8 times out of 10. Like
hot ass. Like he's been playing like cheeks since he's been traded. And again, you can't come into a team that you have no equity in and then try to be like, oh no, we're gonna boo these fans and everything like that. Doesn't work that way, especially in a place like New York. As a Dodger fan, I've had to sit there and watch the Dodgers, including myself at points, boo Kenley Jansen for his performance. And Kenley Jansen probably will go down once his career is over as a Hall of Famer. He leads the Dodgers in saves for the entire Dodgers history. I guarantee you by the time he's done, he's probably going to end up with 400 to 500 saves. He's a Hall of Famer, and we're booing a Hall of Famer. Essentially, right? So Javy Baez, you're not absolved from criticism. You can't think about it this way, especially when you're trying to criticize fans who spend their hard-earned money and root on this team, and you're underperforming. It just is what it is. So to sit there and then try to flip it and be like, oh, because you guys don't support us, we're not going to support you. That's a horrible way. And honestly, I feel like he's just cashed his. I mean, he's bought his plane ticket out of New York. They're not going to re-sign him after this. Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Well, even if they try to re-sign him, he ain't going to re-sign. You know he's not. And then now you just got to go, what did we lose in that trade? I know it wasn't anything major, right? But still, you lost a few. You probably lost a few mid prospects.
And then again, you never know what they turn out to be, honestly. And at the end of the day, this is another strike against Lindor, because Lindor will push for this deal.
Yeah,
Baez and Lindor are boys. So you can understand why he wanted him there, and then to come in and this happens and he's kind of the root of it.
Yeah.
It's just, it looks bad, but we'll see what the Mets we'll see what happens with the Mets by the end of the season. I think they're not going to make playoffs at all. I've been saying this since the beginning. I think we both have.
We both we're high up on the Braves.
The Braves. And I just felt like the Braves were disrespected in the beginning of the season. Everyone just like, besides their meltdown in the NLCS, the Braves were the second best team in the NL. So to think that because the Mets had this rotation and they have this billionaire owner now, that they're just gonna just bunny hop over the Braves somehow, I think was foolish, and now we're seeing it. So again, we'll see what happens at the end of the season, because I'm very interested to see what Steve Cohen does to combat this, because now you have the fans turning, you have players turning against the fans. It seems like there's a mess brewing with the Mets once again. So we'll see what happens, but let us know what you guys think.
Bring back the black jerseys, though.
Got to do that. Same thing with the Dodgers black jerseys that people don't remember. Like the 99, 2000, 2001 Dodgers black jerseys. I think
every team should have a black jersey, because I saw an Angels black jersey and they never had a black jersey, and I was like, that's pretty sick.
But the Angels dark blue jersey.
Well, it was a navy one, yeah. Well,
right.
Yeah, but I like, they had a black jersey. I think they had one last year for when they do the names on the back, like the kids' name, the playground one or whatever. So yeah.
But please let us know what you guys think. Is Javy Baez in the right, or is Javy Baez completely out of base and he should just play baseball and drown out the noise? Let us know what you guys think.
Let us know about the jerseys too. Do you like the black ones? Do you not?
Peace.
Peace.